It was a brutal rape case, one of the horrible cases which deserves justice. But the accused who were arrested by police, all the four of them have been encountered. I wish to inform you that the four of the accused, two were drivers and two were cleaners, poor, and it was done. The crime scene verification was being carried out by the police. At the time, police said that the four accused tried to snatch the arms held by the police and tried to shoot them. In retaliation, police fired at them and all the four were killed. This is the narrative given by the police.
Don't you think it's a very
3
classic
a.m. in the
narrative?
morning. It was done at 3 a.m. in the morning. This is the case. Now, while millions have said that justice is done, we wish to know, was justice done? Is something we would like to inquire about this time. And how correct is this kind of explanation, or how proper is this kind of methodology? We know the way the encounters are done across this country, the history. So I want to delve you upon this particular subject. What exactly happens if such things happen? This
Alright,
kind of
let's
cases.
start from the place where let's start from where it starts.
No problem. You can talk to me. Yeah.
Rape is probably one of the most bestial acts, savage, and I think it violates not just the personality of a person but his life, his soul. No pardons. I'm sure that whenever there's a rape and the rape is established and the accused are connected to that rape, they deserve the most sternest form of punishments, which I don't think any other citizen could have a second thought or second say in the matter, not just in India but all across the world. So, my fundamental understanding of the offense of rape is it does not just violate a body, it also violates the soul of a person. The second point, what we're all speaking about today is what is justice delivery system and who are the persons who are going to assist the course of justice delivery system. Now, whatever we have discussed, people were arrested, they were interrogated by the police, certain samples would have been sent. So just tell me one or few more things. I've also heard that there was a prohibitory order which was imposed by the magistrate on the previous day itself, which probabilizes that there would have been a visit by the police along with the accused to the crime scene, and maybe probably this was just to ensure that there would not have been any untoward incidents by an unruly mob. But now look at it. Isn't it surprising that when you are going to visit a crime scene, why would you do it in the dark hours of the morning at 3 a.m.? Isn't there a need? Isn't there a question mark here? Isn't it a classic case where probably the police would take someone on a bridge, ask him to run away, take out his revolver and say, he's running away and probably he tried to shoot me. Fortunately, the first version which came out in the news in the morning, because we are still on ifs and buts and the police have not divulged their own say in the matter. The say of the police which came out initially was the accused tried to flee the crime scene. They pelted stones against the police. I think in far more cruel scenes where we have been witnessing in Kashmir, the police sometimes use pellet guns against people who pelt stones. What was the need for a police officer to shoot at a person who is an accused, a custody He's probably in the custody of the police. The police is the custodian. He is acting in trust of the government, for and behalf of the government, securing that man's presence until the government, through its machinery, ensures there is a justice delivery process which has been done. Now look at what the police have done. We don't know what it could have been, probably a classic case where they have let them run, then shot. Then there are two scenarios. I would just ask myself. These police officers are so well taught in their training. They know to distinguish between the thigh, the calf, and also the hip. And I'm sure that these shootings would have been done at almost close point blank ranges. The question is why? There are umpteen number of question marks which arise. Why? Why would the police take someone to a crime spot at 3 a.m. in the morning? Why would the police probably remove the handcuffs of these people when they know they are so dangerous? And why would the police go so low in numbers and allow them to flee? There are umpteen number of question marks which just arise and arise and arise. And probably we feel that maybe there was a premeditated motive of the police to ensure that they get punished by the hands of the police rather than at the hands of the court. Now, the facet what I am speaking here is there not a difference between tendering punishment through the process of the court and by the process of the police? They are two different huge variations within the same. Now, if you just look at how a policeman could actually give punishment, let's imagine a policeman is told right out at the spot that there has been a murder, and we 4-5 bystanders saw one man taking out a knife and brutally cutting the other man's throat. We have seen it on the street. And the policeman identifies the accused is running towards in one direction. And immediately what the policeman does is, he instantly takes out a gun and says, I've shot him dead because he was accused. Bystanders told me. Did the policeman verify in the heat of the moment whether those bystanders were actually witnesses, real witnesses? Did they have something to do with the accused? This is exactly what a court does. This is exactly what a court does. The court handles a trial only after all the heat, or let's say the publicity, positive, negative, it all dies down. The court starts with the trial objectively. Once the court starts up with the trial very objectively, the court is going to go on definitive procedures, ensuring everything was done in a manner known to law. This is what a court does. It does not just say or approve the policeman probably killing him, or it does not even approve the policeman probably not, apprehending him at the wrong moment or the right moment. The court is going to go by a set rule of norms which the police have been imposed by the respective police acts, state police acts, and the respective police manuals. The court is going to go by a step-by-step procedure. Now, here too, the court was also following a step-to-step procedure. The moment the FIR was lodged, it was submitted to the court. The moment it was submitted to the court, there were certain directions by the magistrate, including an order of remand, and also to the effect that the police were to conduct investigation in a given forum to ensure that speedy justice was rendered in the matter. Now, flouting all these things, I would say, being a follower of the rule of law, I would say again that the court has ordered the police to conduct investigation in a very, very specific forum in these matters, flouting, all these things. I do not know under what authority the police took these people to given spot at 3 a.m. and probably have come up with the theory of encounter. I'll tell you what, like everyone in the country, whenever there is a rape, it could be the Hyderabad Priyanka Reddy or the now survivor who is now battling with her life with 90% burns all across the body. The point here is, in both these cases, you would have seen that, however bestial the act was, the court decided to go by its own pace, ensuring that the justice delivery system would be objective and not probably based on appeasement or probably the public nuances of saying he is right, he is wrong. No, the court does not do that because the courts are objective in their approach. And once the courts are objective in their approach, they take a very, very cool headed, calm decision, ensuring and seeing what all has happened right from day one till day last, and collecting evidence from day one till day last, and ensuring that cumulatively nothing could have gone wrong and he is the only offender. And that is the reason we all go to courts, to ensure that the offender is in all probabilities the only one who has been brought before the court. The only difference between the police rendering justice and the court rendering justice is the police rendering justice could be on the fact that maybe he could have committed a crime, but when the court punishes someone, that maybe is eliminated and the court finds him guilty. And this maybe, the term maybe, is what is termed as the benefit of doubt in criminal proceedings. This maybe is what separates a convict from an accused. And I'm sure that the job of eliminating maybe should not be exercised by anybody but the court. And if probably the courts give up this exercise, or it is snatched away by someone else, like that of the police or maybe the army in some cases, that is the end of the rule of law. That is the start of erosion. That is the start of the erosion of democracy in the country. And I feel personally, I may be wrong, but I still feel personally that the act of probably publicly doing justice for appeasement is nothing short of autocracy in a state of in a democratic state, which should not be entertained. And I would really say all these media people who are now making these policemen heroes on one end and probably giving them all sorts of shabashgiri from one end to the other, I would say refrain yourself. Tomorrow you may be put up in a very similar situation for a different offense, and you'll come out screaming saying they should not have been done by the police. Who are the police? I would only say that there are courts to do this job, not the police.